Valuable Brands is a company that was started to do three things. Number one is in terms of identifying brands. Number two is in terms of taking brands to the market, in terms of basically acknowledging and showcasing the various brands. And number three was about basically celebrating brands. So today, we are here to celebrate the various brands that have contributed in one way or the other in making, the business space a better place. So that's what we're doing today. Earlier on, in September, we had the Nakuru SME Expo. During the Nakuru SME Expo, you are basically taking brands to the market. That was market access. And in our day-to-day activities, what we try to do is identify the various brands in the market. Both in Nakuru, we do Kakamega and Western, we do Kisumu and the Lake region, we do Nairobi. We are also affiliated with events that happen in Naivasha, in Nanyuki, Nyeri, and the Mount Kenya region. So basically what we're trying to do is we're expanding the web and creating opportunities for the various brands. I'm so sure today, for someone, most likely you've heard of a brand for the first time today, or you've seen them, or you've seen their logo during either the expo or now when you are doing the evaluation process for the Valuable Brands Awards. That one, I'm so sure, I'm so 100% sure of that. Number one. Number two, for instance, for this venue, I'm so sure 80% of people in this room did not even know where the venue is. Number one. Also, number two, they thought that this place is a hospital or this place is a school. I'm so sure. That one, I'm so sure. Number one. Number two. Number three, I'm also sure that there are people behind some of the brands that you know the brand, but you've never known who is behind that brand. That is true. Cynthia? For instance, Tians. Kila pali ukienda you see Tians. But today you can tell that you can put a face behind the brand, Mr. Titus. Cynthia? That is number one. For instance, Wajose Smartwear, just randomly, Wajose Smartwear, you know Wajose. Some of you, of course, shop there, but you don't know the face behind Wajose. Miss Winnie, I'm sure you are somewhere. Just wave. She's back there. Another brand, just simple brands that most likely you've heard of the name. You're even wondering who are the people behind that brand. Sindio? Nakuru Specialist, the team, you mostly have seen the brand. You don't know the people behind it. The team is there. When it comes to clippers, I'm sure some of you are their customers. You most likely didn't know who are the people behind that brand. You've met Emily, you've met Raymond. When it comes to, like, let's say Optimum Current Healthcare, you know the brand. Sindio? But then you've never known who is the person behind the brand, who is basically leading the brand. Today you've met Dr. Winnie. I think she stepped out. And we can go on and on and on and on. So basically, the goal with such a particular event is to put faces behind the brands. And then also, apart from that, is to also provide an opportunity for brands to basically get known beyond what they do. And then also to just, come together and have a good time. So allow me to go through some of the things we were looking at. So Valuable Brands Awards basically celebrates outstanding brands that demonstrates excellence. By excellence, we mean it's a brand that has been in the market for some time. There is proven service delivery to the customers. There are no complaints. When they are there, you can be able to handle them and things like that. And then we have innovation. What I mean by innovation is not about technology, but technology is an enabler of innovation. I'll use an example, a very simple example, like Billionaire Butchery. She's seated there, Susan. For Susan, she has a butchery. It's called Billionaire Butchery. But you find that the brand, as much as you find like maybe the space is small, the butcher is small, but because of the innovation and things like, let's say, running a combo, selling a combination of meats, things like deliveries and things like that, then she's able to even do 5 cows in a day. So you find that in her level, she's doing her best. You find another company that is different, but their sense of innovation is different. You find another company, let's say Tools Basket, that are based in Nakuru. You find like it's a shop, but now most of the customers could be deliveries. And now you have that aspect of logistics and everything. So basically that is some of the things we are looking at. And then of course, community impact. I'm so sure you realize when you are doing the nominations, one of the key questions you were asking was, do you do CSR? Because you realize 90% of, let's say 60% of companies don't take CSR seriously. And the way we're looking at it is, when it comes to CSR, the customers that give us business are from the society. The employees that work for us are from the society. The houses that we live in, the communities that we live in are within the society. So the question is, how are you giving back to the society? Not necessarily through your products, but also through the various initiatives that you have. So you find that those who are doing community service, let's say street children feeding, there are those who are doing scholarships for schools, there are those who are doing tree planting, there are those who are doing cleaning exercises. So it is something, it's a social duty for all of us. And the good advantage is that all of us were involved in it. That's why it was across. There is no award like Community Impact Award. It is something, it is a social duty for all of us. So that is the other point. Then the awards highlight organizations redefining standards in performance, creativity, and the most important part, sustainability. It's very easy to see a brand that is very strong today, but the question is, what are the strategies that the brand is putting in today that will make the brand sustainable 10 years from now? That's why we're also asking about how long your brand has been in the market. And that's why for some of the companies, a few of the companies, we even had a category for most resilient brand and then most established brand. The reason why we do that, we resorted to that is, the way we are looking at it is, there are brands that are aspirational. You are starting today, you wish to be somewhere where, let's say you are celebrating 30 years, you're celebrating 50 years. You want to build a company that outlives you. So what are some of the structures that you've put in place that will make sure that you are actually doing something that will not compromise your brand and make sure that the brand succeeds? And of course, majorly what we are here to do is telling authentic stories of growth. So basically telling a story, how you started, where you are, and how you want to grow your company. For that and more, of course, we are doing a magazine, a Valuable Brands magazine, for the winners, all the finalists, and all the shortlisted brands, highlighting their stories. So more of that will be there. We'll be talking about resilience. Resilience and sustainability are connected, but they are different. Sustainability is, you can be in a sector for over 20 years, but you've never really had a serious challenge. For instance, let me use the hospitality sector. You could have been in the business for like 30 years, but COVID-19 never happened. We're together. And then something happens and COVID-19 happens, and you have to run it, and you have to sustain it without business, and you still have to pay employees for a certain period of time. So that, again, that is where the resilience comes in. So how are you making sure that your brand is resilient? And consistency across various sectors in Kenya. That's basically about valuable brands. So domination details, what we are looking at, of the brand and company name. That is also, let me also separate the two. You can be a company, but with various brands. That's okay. Like various brands that are dealing in different products and services. For instance, for us, we have valuable brands, But then under that, we have Nakuru SME Expo, which is a brand. For Nakuru, we have Kakamega SME Expo, which is another one. We have Valuable Brands Awards. So all these are brands. Now, how are you able to basically also separate, but also make sure that they are within the same group? How do you communicate? Of course, tiers of establishment, and basically all that. Work culture, how you support your employees, of course, and community impact, as we had said. The awards journey map, number 1, nomination submissions, whereby it was open, it's an open call, inviting brands to submit entries through the official nomination form. And then the shortlisting by selection panel. So the panel reviews submissions using the Valuable Brands score index. We'll look at that. And then announcement of shortlisted nominees, which we did. Nominees announced publicly, and then they received digital nomination badges. Then the public voting aspect. Public voting only contributing to 20%. Let me highlight on that. Number 1, you can be having a brand that is very strong, you have very good clientele, everything ticks out, but then maybe you are not a brand that is everywhere. So it's not like a common brand per se, if I can use that aspect, if I can use that statement. Now you find when you are building, so like let's say now let's say if it's purely on voting, most likely you will be challenged, because now the bigger, most known brands will comfortably get the public votes, and you may miss out. Also, you may be a company you may be a big brand, but there are also some challenges here and there, or you might not even be in a position to build a brand. You are a company that is known, not necessarily a brand. If it's just public voting and you get 20,000 votes, if you're just looking at that alone, automatically you become a winner. But now we're looking at other things, like now what we're talking about, the community impact and things like that. And then awards gala, now a grand ceremony celebrating the winners, including the top 10 valuable brands of the year. So which we'll be doing today and over the weekend. So today we are releasing the lists. So today we are releasing of course, the winners, and then tomorrow and over this week we are releasing now the various lists. Now like top 10 companies, top 10 brands, as far as the South Rift region, and of course, as far as the ones that participated in the event is concerned, number 1. And then number 2 also, the top 10 women in business who are contributing in their own different way in terms of growing the business space in the South Rift region. Majorly being first edition, majority of them are from Nakuru. Ideally, that is it. So if I can go to the process, the nomination process, this is basically for your own consumption, because I'm sure it will help you somewhere. Number 1, criteria, what you are looking at, brand visibility. In terms of brand visibility, we are looking at recognition, media presence, communication, consistency, and visibility in general. Recognition. Today is Valuable Brands Awards. Who else may have recognized you for your efforts before? Number 1. Number 2, media presence. Are you present on social media channels? How vibrant are you? How are you able to communicate to your clients? And then, of course, communication, consistency, and visibility. The market positioning, how unique your product is. Work culture, staff engagement, how are you supporting your team? Community impact, which you have talked about. And then the sectoral contribution. For that, ideally, that is it, but we'll share more details as that goes. Majorly, in terms of ranking categories, we had a valuable brand, then a promising brand, and then an emerging brand. But then there are those who are recognized differently, like now you find a brand that is very vibrant, and then you find a brand that is resilient, has been there for long. So the idea is we recognize you at your point of strength, and then now as we move forward, we try to help you in one way or the other to improve and of course grow brands that can employ more people.